Hey, what's up, all? It is Friday, October 9th, and things have been pretty wild in the market this last week. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's been happening here. So when I recorded last is at the beginning of the week. We're here in the channel up here, and then bam, we started taking ourselves outside of that channel. Started seeing some negative stuff happening, and a lot of it has to do with at least from what I understand, the Fed talked about inflation running, getting a little bit of that going. So there's been a little bit of selling out of there. Federal Reserve is still dumping in stupid amounts of money into the market, keeping it fairly stable. But at the same time, we've seen some of those funds leave certain parts of the mortgage-backed securities. I've seen others show an increase or an improvement. Therefore, rates got a little bit better in different coupons, or at the specific coupon, the 3.0, where I focus my attention, has seen a little bit of some negative movement. So interesting things going on out there with respect to the market, but it seems to have found this support here that we're talking about here at 104.42. So I'm guessing that particular support, I'm hoping, will continue to hold. This also today is a coupon rollover, meaning, mortgage bonds are a very finite instrument. They last for 30 years. It's a bond. Somebody buys into it, it lasts 30 years. And they start a new bond every single month. There's a new offering every single month that's being auctioned off. So got a new coupon rollover, new one going out. Sometimes that does have an effect, not enough to really notice. It could affect it negative. But we take it with a grain of salt because, again, it's a rollover into a new coupon. Kind of harder to explain. That's a whole other discussion to get into. I've been getting a lot of questions lately. A lot of people are talking about what's going to happen. Where it looks like there's going to be some sort of massive interrupt in the housing. Yeah. Definitely. We've been talking about that. There's going to be an interrupt, especially in certain markets. And so they've asked me my opinion on some of the other gurus out there talking about that. And my thought process has always been, be prepared for every kind of deal that's going to happen, right? When it comes to houses that are available out there, just because it's on the market doesn't mean you got to buy it. You got to set your baselines. You got to understand what it is that you want to have happen before you buy. Right. So if we're talking about somebody says, well, do I wait for us to get a 2% rent to value ratio? Do I avoid the 0.5s, or what's my indicator? What should I buy? And it's like, you figure out what you should be looking for, and then you evaluate the deal itself. So I don't stop and even look at anything if I'm not somewhere right around that 1% rent to value ratio. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit less, maybe a 0.8, 0.9, but I at least look for one. And then that's what gets me to just stop as I'm driving by, figuratively speaking, and I'll look at the deal. Then I dig into it deeper. Heck, you could have a 2% rent to value ratio, but if you got extreme, HOA fees, you got extreme taxes in that area, it could eliminate what cash flow you would have had even at such a high rent to value ratio. So be cognizant of that. You got to look deeper into the deal, and don't just look at those specific percentage metrics as I buy because it has 1%. No, that's what you stop and look at. So set your baselines. What rent to value ratio you're looking for? What price ranges? What class of property? Can you get away with 20 or 25% down, which is your requirements? Set your baselines of what's going to make you stop and look. Then you got to evaluate and decide what you want there, and write down what you want. Seriously. I don't know if you guys or any of you have jumped into the master key system yet. You absolutely need to do this. If you haven't done this, it's $3.99 on Amazon. It's the cheapest amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know why people can get away getting it that cheap. I'm in going back through it again. My team is going through it again. Many of the people that are watching right now are going through it with us. I'm getting a lot of comments back, people sending me emails, and I'm in number 2. And some of the things that stands out about it's all controlling here. How do you focus your mind? Right? You can think that the whole world is out to get you and you're going to hide in the corner and get nothing done. Or you can think correctly. So one of the things I found very interesting in chapter 2, in verse 16, it says, the subconscious mind does not engage in the process of proving. It relies upon the conscious mind, the watchman at the gate, to guard it from mistaken impressions. If you want your subconscious mind to work in your behalf, go out there and start engineering ideas for you. You can't feed it with wrong ideas. So in your conscious mind, people get to thinking that, you're reading an email from somebody. And it's like, this person's trying to, is being an asshole, and they're trying to make my life miserable. And and then you call the person, they're the sweetest person in the world. Change how you think. Always give somebody the most benevolent thought process possible, but expect a perfection of yourself. Expect yourself to look at things the best way possible, and give the other person the benefit of the doubt that they're not a great orator, or they're not a great author, that they may have typed something up wrong. So, that's just one example. So be careful at what you allow your conscious mind to conjure up, because your subconscious mind is going to go to work in whatever you conjured up, right? And then going into verse 20, it says, it has been found that by plainly stating to the subconscious mind certain specific things to be accomplished, forces are set in operation that lead to the result desired. Amazing information. And if you don't believe me, read this, read that. What I put to work in the subconscious, what I decide to write down, go read how things worked out, even though there's no way I could have, I'm trying to get the light right, no way I could have engineered any of that. It happened because I wrote it down. So much happened that I wrote down. That is some of the best information I've ever read in my life right there. So be careful what you think. Be careful what you write down. Because when you put your plan to work for your real estate investment business, you got to put the right plan to work. If you put the wrong plan to work, you can go to work on creating the wrong crap. It's going to be financially destructive to you. Get the right information, do the work, put the time in. Conscious thought is hard, I get it, but put the work in. You'd be very, very, very happy that you did. So also, remember, $50 for every closed transaction we're putting towards Operations Underground Railroad. Go to aaron.chapman.com, go in there, scroll down on page 1, click on the donate. If you've closed a deal recently, come on, man, $50 is not a lot to be able to change a person's life. Appreciate you guys. Always paying attention. Get the book. If you don't have it, get it. Point your head and heart, your ass will follow. I will prove to you that this works. I started this 3 years ago, actually. That came after it. Amazing stuff. Appreciate you guys.